The blender was still warm, the sink was running, and the house was silent. No screams, no struggle, no body, just blood. But here's the impossible part. Police would soon realize there was nothing left to find. A woman had vanished inside her own home, and the man who loved her claimed it was an accident. How does a person disappear in pieces inside a blender? But what investigators uncovered next was far more horrifying. Christina wasn't just beautiful, she was driven. From childhood, she dreamed of standing on stages, not for fame, but for pride. She practiced her walk in hallways, smiled in mirrors, wrote goals in journals. She loved morning coffee rituals. Always by the window, always with music playing softly. Friends said she believed in love deeply, too deeply. Just weeks before her death, she told someone, "I finally feel safe." She was planning new projects, talking about the future, smiling more than ever. How does someone so full of life vanish in one violent moment? And that happiness would become part of the mystery. The first thing investigators noticed was the calm. No forced entry, no broken windows, no chaos. The house looked lived in, but not attacked. Then came the husband's call. He said there'd been an argument. He said she fell. He said she was already dead. But there was one detail that didn't fit. There was too much blood and no body. Where does a body go when it dies inside a locked home? The answer would shock the nation. Police searched every room, the bathroom drain clogged, kitchen pipes stained, blood in places that didn't match a fall. The first thing noticed, cut marks, clean surfaces, heavy chemical smells. But one appliance stood out, the blender. It wasn't just dirty, it was biological, human remains. Someone hadn't just killed, they had erased. And then the truth became unavoidably clear. At first, detectives questioned if someone else was involved. An unknown visitor, a jealous admirer, a past conflict. Messages were examined, calls traced. Even a former acquaintance briefly became suspect. The theory felt possible until it collapsed. Every timeline pointed back to one person. The husband never left the house. No one else entered. No one else exited. The red herring died, and suspicion sharpened. The killer had been home the entire time. Investigators reconstructed the crime. Christina was strangled, her airway crushed, her life stolen slowly, then dismembered, piece by piece. Some remains cut, others blended, poured down drains, flushed away. An attempt not just to kill, but to delete. What kind of mind tries to erase a human being completely? But motive would reveal the darkest truth. Control, jealousy, possession. Evidence suggested escalating arguments, Christina growing independent, building her career, gaining attention, and he was losing power. This wasn't rage, it was fear of losing ownership. When love becomes control, how quickly does it become violence? The marriage wasn't ending peacefully. The husband maintained it was an accident, a fall, a panic. But falls don't cause strangulation marks. Falls don't explain dismemberment, and panic doesn't explain blending remains. The evidence screamed intention, premeditation, cover-up. Truth was louder than words, and justice closed in. A daughter, a friend, a dreamer, gone. The modeling world mourned, family shattered, a future erased. Not by a stranger, but by the person meant to protect her. Why are women most often killed by the ones they love? And why does it happen so quietly? Christina trusted love, believed in safety, believed in forever. Her death is a reminder. Danger doesn't always come from outside. Sometimes it sleeps beside you. The husband says it was an accident. The evidence tells a different story. But one question remains. Was this a moment of rage or the final act of control long in the making? And how many warning signs did the world miss? Some crimes take lives, others try to erase them, but memory refuses to disappear. Christina mattered, and she will never be forgotten. The trial did not take long to begin. After weeks of investigation, prosecutors filed charges. Not accidental death, not manslaughter, murder, deliberate, calculated, premeditated. The prosecution laid out their case meticulously. Strangulation evidence, blood reconstruction, forensic timelines, dismemberment, attempts to destroy evidence. No part of the sequence was accidental, not a slip, not a misunderstanding, but intentional deletion of life. In court, every detail was presented as a narrative, not just a case, a story of control, of deception, of betrayal. And the jury had to decide, was this crime of passion or cold-blooded eradication? The answer was damning. After hours of deliberation, the jury returned, guilty on all counts, not only murder, but abuse of remains, desecration, and obstruction of justice. The sentence was harsh and intentional. Visual. Courtroom reacts, gasps, tears. Life imprisonment without possibility of parole. No early release, no suspended sentence, no leniency. The sentence was designed so the world would never forget. So the woman whose life was stolen would not be erased again, even behind bars. The story was not over. The husband was transported to a maximum security prison, not a facility of comfort, not a quiet institution, a place designed to contain individuals deemed too dangerous for society. Cameras captured him only once, not angry, not remorseful, just silent. Inmates whispered, officers watched, no easy answers surrounded him. Outside, the public response was fierce. Some demanded explanations. Others could not comprehend the brutality. The media frenzy surged, yet for the victim's family, silence was still louder than justice. As is often the case in high-profile convictions, appeals were filed, not about innocence, but about procedure. Defense teams argued over admissibility of forensic evidence, chain of custody claims, whether intent was fully proven. Each hearing drew crowds. Legal pundits dissected transcripts, but every appeal was denied. Each higher court upheld the original verdict. The sentencing stood, no reversal, no mitigation. Justice, in legal terms, had been delivered. But does legal closure mean emotional closure? For the husband, prison became his life sentence, locked away, removed from culture, separated from society. But for the ones who mattered most, justice did not bring her back. It did not undo pain. It did not rewind time. It merely acknowledged consequence. Is consequence the same as healing? Many would argue, it's not. The sentence was clear, the guilt undeniable. But for every step of this journey, why did it take so long for anyone to listen? For every warning signal ignored? For every moment that could have saved a life? Could any of this have been prevented? Was this a tragedy waiting to happen? Or a storm that could have been seen? A life once bright? A future once imagined, stolen, blended, erased, but not forgotten? Because memory does not disappear, and telling the story, fully, deeply, honestly, is how we honor her. Thank you for listening with care. Stories like this are not told for spectacle. They are told to remember a life, to honor a voice, to remind us that behind every headline is a human being who mattered deeply. And if this story stayed with you, if it made you pause, if it made you hold your loved ones a little closer, then its purpose was fulfilled. If you believe stories should be told with respect and remembered with humanity, you can support this work by subscribing, liking, and sharing, not for numbers, but so these voices are never forgotten. Some stories end. Others become part of us. This one will stay.